Hello future tech leaders, I am Sindhuja. Based on my own experience, I know that learning the right skills can shape our future. What if I say learning was as thrilled as the tech world itself? There we go. A cloud foundation, that's exactly what you will experience. From day one, you will be immersed in the interactive sessions and expert-led courses that covers most of the widely used technologies in the zone of data science to cloud computing, which brings more light to the life of a techie. I'm so excited to help you and unlock the true potential of a technology. Well, then why to wait? Let's see what it unfolds.
In today's session, we're going to be covering the support management as discussed yesterday. Let's take a quick business case here. Let's say in our order to cash process, we sold something to a customer. We fulfilled it. We got the payment and everything. But for some reason, the customer reverted back and told us that the goods were incorrect or they were defected when they received the goods. In this case, they can just simply call you via phone, or they can send you an email, or if you have any other contact information page that you give to your customers for support, they could reach you outright. Once they reach you out, there would be a support team that would be looking into all those inquiries and complaints coming from the customer. Once a complaint is received, you can use the NetSuite support management tool to create that case or ticket. You can call anything in NetSuite. It could be a ticketing system and you can create a case. Let's see how to do that. Like you know, this is a very fairly straightforward process. But again, it's very important to know how to do that in NetSuite. Let's say there was a phone call from a customer and they told us that there were incorrect goods shipped to them. What the support app would be doing is they will go in list and then you have support and they have cases. Here, this is the navigation to track cases. And if I go and click on cases, I'll be able to see a lot of cases created in my NetSuite instance. There are around 74 cases. These are the historical ones where you can see all the data of your cases by case number, subject, priorities, status, and a lot of more details. And let's say if you need to create a new case, you can simply click on a new case button over here. I'm just taking a pause because the form is loading up. This is basically the form, the case form. I'm going to select standard case form here. And you will notice that this is the page or this is the form that the support app would be filling. Once they receive a phone call or an email, using that information, they will create a case record or a ticket record in NetSuite. Let's say it was around about an incorrect goods being shipped to the customer. They can enter the subject incorrect. Ship. And you can enter any subject that works for you for your internal reporting and internal tracking. And then you have the company. Here you will select the customer that has raised this case. Whoever the customer was called you will enter the company information of that customer. Let's say it was Randy. And then automatically the email address of that particular company would pull up from the customer record. Alright. And this is the email address that you can use for all your email communications with this customer. And you can also capture the phone number from which you receive the phone call. You can enter any quick notes that you want to capture for this particular case record. All regular stuff. Again, anything that is marked as med, hysteric is going to be mandatory. but rest of the stuff is all non-mandatory. And you can just simply click, keep it blank. Now here you can also capture the incident, date and time. This is the time when you received the call, and this is the date where when you got that call from the customer. If the customer is providing you any item information, the item that was correctly in ship, you can provide that information here. Maybe we sold them Mullen phone, and this is the item that was incorrectly shipped. Now there are some non-mandatory fields and some custom fields. I'll just quickly skip them. But there are certain fields that you can classify on a case record. Type, one of them is a type. The query coming from the customer. Is this a question, concern, a problem, inquiry? What is the type of this case that you're trying to create? You can select the type here. Whether it's a critical type of case or a concerning type of case or a problem. Since we have shipped incorrect goods, this is definitely a problem, and I'm going to mark this as a problem case. Now later, what you can do is based on the NetSuite reporting, you can filter all your cases by type. Let's say if you want to see in a given month how many cases were raised for problem types, because problem is something that is going to overall impact your company reputation. You might be interested in only looking into the problem types and focusing on all those cases, and then you can just simply shift your attention to another case. Maybe questions or inquiries or tasks or something like that. This is just a classification of your case. While you're entering the case record, is this making sense? Yes, good. All right. And then you can also enter the case issue. Whether this is a product related issue, this is a product question. Is this a billing related question? Or a short shipment or a late delivery? All that information is also something that you can capture here. And again, based on this, you can get all your reports down the line. Let's say this was a product issue. I mean the product was incorrectly shipped. I'm going to mark this as a product issue. Now later your management can see all the cases raised with product issue, and perhaps they could then look into the root cause. Why are we having many product issues, right, to our customers? And they can then identify whether it's a problem with our shipment, whether it's a problem with our supply chain, and whatever. It's all important. These classifications then later can help you analyze all your situations with your existing business operations. All right. And then you can also capture the origin. Whether this case was raised via email, via phone call, or on any of your social media pages. Again, this would also give you an idea how your customers are interacting with you, and you can actually target your attention to that particular platform. Let's say if you're receiving your cases via Facebook in a given period of time, you see that the ratio of cases coming from Facebook is a lot. You can invest more on Facebook because that's where your customer base is interacting with you, right? Based on all these information, you can make some decent decisions that could be really helpful for your overall business. Again, I'm going to set the origin. Let's say I got it by a phone call. I'm going to set this to phone call. I have captured most of my information, and here I can set the priority. The person entering the information can also set the priority. If it's a medium case, high priority case, low priority case. Now, this is based on the judgment and the type of case being generated. Let's say if it's just a question, it might perhaps be a low priority case for you. But if it's something related to an incorrect goods shipped to a customer, definitely this is a medium to high priority case. And you might want to resolve these cases as soon as possible, right? You can set your priority on the cases, and then based on the priority, you can target those cases and resolve them. And based on the priority, you can also assign the relevant support rep. Let's say if you have multiple support representatives in your organization, and there is basically a group of support traps who are assigned to only deal with the high priority cases. In this case, you can assign a priority, and automatically the relevant support rep would be assigned to the case as well. Again, some really important information on the case record. I'm going to select this as low as a medium priority case for now. And now what you can also do is assign to. Right now, automatically did not pull up any support trap as my assign to, but I will quickly show you how to do that as well in a couple of moments. But here I can also assign this case to a particular support trap. Let's say this case will be dealt by Sam Smith, and this is my internal employee who is going to work on this particular case and make sure it is resolved. I can assign my contact person, my internal contact person, to this particular case. Assigning the sense like it is escalation for us. Not really escalation. This is basically the support rep that will work on this case. If you have ever, seen a ticketing system, there is always a person assigned to a particular ticket or a case. Who is the person responsible to close it right? This is Sam Smith, the responsibility to close this case after discussing with the customer. Sam Smith is my internal support representative who will then call to this particular, company brandy number, and we'll try to close this case in that suite and physically as well. Alright. And here you can enter the complete message. Incoming message from customer. When you received a phone call, definitely the customer would have given you a message or conveyed a message. And the problem, right? Here you can say that a customer has received incorrect goods for order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. This is the message that you can enter. And based on this message, the support rep, Sam Smith, would then be communicating with the customer and trying to resolve this case. Alright? Once we have done this, we'll simply save this record. This case is now going to be saved, and now it will be the responsibility of Sam Smith, because once Sam Smith logs in with NetSuite, he will be able to see this case on his dashboard because he is assigned to this case. Sam Smith would then come up on this case again and would start voting. Let's say this case 296 has been generated. Sam Smith will receive an email. Again, this is a sandbox and training instance. We don't have emails configured from here, but in AAA, in a production environment, when a support rep is assigned on a case, they will automatically get an email that you have been assigned on this case and you need to start working on this case. Now it means they will get notification to the email address in the area. That is nice. Exact. And what they can also do is they can also have their reminder set here. Let me see if there is a reminder where we can see those cases. This is to respond. There is this reminder already available. I'll just save this and show you. In here, I can see one case to respond if I click on this. It's actually another case 231 that was assigned on my user. But if I was Sam Smith logging in with NetSuite, I would be able to see all my cases here in this reminders where I needed to respond to a particular case. Just to give you an idea that the support rep would have all the visibility on their screens once they are assigned on a case. On the dashboard, it will appear right on their dashboards as well and on their emails as well. Both ways to make sure nothing is missed. Here, we need to update their communication email ID the system to not to learn for notification. Is it exactly? When you log in with NetSuite, you have to give an email address. That's your user email address. And on that email address, you will receive your case information. Alright. Awesome. Now next step would be to, if I quickly go back on the case record, let's assume I'm Sam Smith. I will come back on this case record. I will see all the information that was entered by the customer support team. And I will see that there was a message here that customer has received incorrect goods for order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the email address of the customer. This is not started yet. The status is not started because Sam Smith has not started working on this case, right? He's right now just reviewing all the details. He's looking into everything, the incident, the items. And once the initial analysis is completed, he would then edit this case. I'm going to select again my sort of standard support form, standard case form. And here now, first thing that Sam Smith is going to do is change the status to in progress. Because now Sam Smith has actually started looking into this case, right? I'm going to first change the status to in progress. And then you have this option called outgoing from support app option here. You see this. This was incoming message from the customer and this is outgoing from support app. Now I myself as Sam Smith would write an email here. This is Sam. And will look into your case. I'm going to type any detailed email that I need to send to the customer. And here there is this option called send to customer. Once you click on this and the email address that is mentioned here. And once you save this, automatically an email from NetSuite would be generated and will be sent to the customer. Now you see all the email communication is being maintained on my case record in my interaction tab. Now there will be a to and pro communication between the support app and the customer. The customer is going to provide you more details. The support app will actually validate the case and whatever the next line of action would be, he would be processing that. Let's say this was incorrect goods. He's going to intimate it to the warehouse team or the sales team and will ask them to send new goods or whatever. A refund will be processed or whatever the processes of the organization are. There will be to and pro communication. And the best part is that NetSuite is going to capture all that history. Now the customer responds to his email automatically. That email will also be part of this chain here in the interaction tab. Everything is. Now as a support manager or as a person from management, if I need to see a particular case and see how the support app was communicating, and if I need to evaluate his overall activities and performance, I can simply go on my case record and see all the email communications. I don't really need to go into his inbox or copy myself in all the emails just using this email interaction tab. I can see the communication between the customer and my support app. This is all native options that you get around the case management. Now what will happen is that based on the communication with the customer, finally the end would be that this status of this case would finally go on closed. If this issue is totally resolved, if the customer acknowledges it, the support app is finally going to close this case. And I can simply mark the status as closed. And here I can also, provide you my closed reason. There are multiple reasons that you can also enter. Let's say 100% answered or any relevant information. And again, these lists are all configurable. At any point in time, you can add new things here or subtract any of the list value that you see here. Let's say this case was 100% answered, and I'm going to mark this as closed and finally save this. Now this case would be closed. Alright, because I've set the status to closed. And when I review all my standard reports within next week, I will be able to see that this case was closed on this particular date and time. That would be the overall, CRM process from post-sales support management perspective, where a case would be generated. A case would be assigned to a sales rep, the sales rep a support rep. The support rep would start working on the case, would do to and pro communication, and finally, once the case has been resolved, he would be setting the status as closed. That would typically cover an overall, end-to-end case management process. But, however, in a perfect level, that would be in a perfect world, right? But there are instances when the customer would again come back that no, my case was not 100% resolved and you need to, look into this again. If that's the case, he would again come and edit this one. And perhaps again, set the status to, let's say, in progress or reopened and start working on that case again. Now he can again reopen the status and save it. And again, the same activity and same operations would start happening against this particular case record. And finally, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel.